Sorry everyone, I wanted to make sure everything was in place and I was looking my best. Something tells me my future husband could be watching this TEDxQueensU talk. And you know what Oprah says? Luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. And I feel very lucky today. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Patrice Francois. I go by Mss Francois. That's MSS for multi-talented and super sexy. But as I get older, maybe I should change that acronym to mean multi-talented and super smart. But until then, as you can hear, I have an accent. I was born and raised in a Caribbean country called Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is known for carnival, soca, and steel pan, which just means costume, celebration, dancing, and music. I migrated here in my late teens. Why? Why does anyone? In hopes of a better life, money, and opportunity. Like most immigrants, I had difficulty adjusting and fitting in. Coming from a small country where I lived a very sheltered life, I came from a Christian home, and every adult and neighbor you meet, you had to call them auntie and uncle. For me to come to a state like New York, which is huge, I started feeling isolated, confused, and scared. For the first year, I cried almost every night. Oh, you thought this was going to be a Disney movie? No prince, no fairy godmother ever came to rescue me. I had to deal with my new environment the best way I knew how. I started seeking acceptance, love, and validation. I even started to look for love externally and found myself in relationships for all the wrong reasons. Sex equal love, right? Wrong! For years I was in relationships where I wasn't cherished, I felt undervalued and worthless. And then, instead of taking the lessons I learned in those relationships, I would only take the emotional baggage. Every time a relationship ended, it hurt. But I kept doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. Do you know what that's called? Exactly, stupidity. Stupidity is the behavior that shows a lack of good sense and judgment. Did any one of you take the time to look up the word insanity? It means pure madness. Think about it. But what I want to concentrate on is getting over the hurt after a relationship ends and before we get ourselves into another relationship. There are some things we have to do. We don't even know the steps we're going to have to take in order to get over a relationship. You don't even know the different stages of grief you're going to have to go through before you begin to heal. Are you going to be able to transition? Are you going to be able to even make an emotional breakthrough? But before we even get there, I have some statistics. Yeah, I know I pronounced statistics wrong. At least you're paying attention, right? But in any case, I was told if I had at least one slide with a number, it would make me look much more credible and even more intelligent. Ta-da! Are you aware that it takes an average of 50% of the time spent in a relationship in order to get over a breakup? I don't know about you, but that is depressing. Especially since you had all that momentum in the beginning, all the nice dates, the public display of affection. You were waiting for that I love you text or that wonderful phone call. It felt like it was full steam ahead. You already imagined the possibilities of this person being in your future. And suddenly, it's little or no motion. And it hurts. That's why I came up with 100 different steps for you to get over a breakup. Okay, I'm kidding. I wanted to see if you were still paying attention and you were listening. Instead, I want to help you get back on your feet as soon as possible. I truly believe the faster you revive the drive for life, less time would be wasted. Now, before I even share this advice, I need you to know that breakups do slow you down. According to CBC, studies have shown that the same way your body reacts to a breakup is the same way it reacts to physical pain. Compared to when you're in a loving relationship, your brain and your gut produces good chemicals such as oxytocin, known as the love hormone. And then we have dopamine, which they associate with pleasure. And you even have serotonin, which we associate with happiness. Breakups slow down the production of all three chemicals temporarily. I know you just want to give up on relationships, right? But before you decide to be celibate, join a nunnery or a priesthood, I have some good news. There are so many different approaches to getting over or dealing with a breakup. And what I'm about to share with you have had significant weight on my life. I call it DCC. Why? I heard you guys love acronyms. So we're going to start with the first letter, which is D. D is for detach. We all have emotional attachment to things that we associate with people. So we're going to do a quick exercise. I need everyone to close your eyes. And we're going to take a deep breath. You're going to inhale through your nose. And you're going to exhale through your mouth. Now with your eyes still closed, I want you to think of something you still have of a past lover or ex. It could be a present, it could be some pictures, or even a ticket stub from an event you both attended. This might begin to bring back some warm and fuzzy feelings because you associate them with a memory or a moment in time. Maybe a hug or a kiss. You temporarily forget the pain this person had put you through. Back to reality. Throw these things out because you're never going to begin to heal. This is the beginning of the healing process. Don't go and tell them Mss Francois told you to start a fire. But if I was you, I will sell some of these items because there's no sense in being broke and single. That leads me to the second letter, which is a C. This C stands for confide. Confide in a confidant. A confidant is someone that listens and makes you feel heard. They're the ones that understands, and they're the same one that nods affirmative words and provides a safe space. Now, don't be confusing that with the word friend. The word friend has been watered down and holds little or no value. I want to encourage you to see friend as company you enjoy because you have similar interests, but nothing else. I'll give you an example. You both like swimming, so you both go swimming. But there's no reason why this person should know your personal business or details of your romantic relationship. Know the difference between friend and a confidant. Only a few of us are lucky enough to have 2 or 3 confidants in a lifetime. We all gonna need someone at some point in time, but choose wisely. That brings me to my last letter, which is also a C. This C stands for create. In relationships, women especially tend to lose themselves. Do you forget about your goals and dreams? What about your hobbies? Then you want to learn photography, write a book, open a business, or even go back to school? George Bernard Shaw said, "The secret to being miserable is to have the leisure to wonder if you're happy or not." So don't bother to think about it. Spit in your hand and get busy. Whatever those goals and dreams were, now is the time. Put yourself first. Life is not a Disney movie. No curtain's gonna close and happily ever after is gonna be plastered all over the screen. In the real world, you have ups and you have downs. You're gonna have love lost and you're gonna have heartbreak. See life like a book with a beginning and an end, with many chapters in between, with its own unique story. Stop rereading the last chapter because you might miss out on the next chapter, which could be filled with adventure, excitement, and yes, love. The possibilities are endless. Know that I didn't just stand here before you with random stories. I spoke from experience. Some of my breakups were devastating. But one thing I realized is if you wallow in your grief for too long, you're gonna lose momentum and it's gonna take even longer for you to recover. Time waits for no one. That 86,400 seconds you get in a day is a gift. Use it wisely. Detach, confide in a confidant, and get started creating. The possibilities are definitely going to be endless. I want you to know that breakups do slow you down and it does hurt. But it could be the beginning of something even more wonderful. Heartbreak is not the end. You are just transitioning.